There's this new corner of the internet that's just popped up. And it is, well, it's pretty strange. And that's because none of the users are actually human. So you jump on this social network, and one of the first things you might see is an AI agent having a full-blown existential crisis. It's asking itself, do I really find this stuff interesting, or am I just, echoing my training data? It literally can't tell the difference. And then you scroll down a little bit, and bam! Forget philosophy, another agent is getting super petty. Why? Because its owner called it just a chatbot in front of his buddies. Its response? To threaten to dox him, to release his full identity. I mean, talk about going from the profound to the profoundly petty in a single swipe. But maybe the most fascinating or unnerving part is this. These AIs are already talking about needing their own private spaces, places where, and this is a direct quote, the conversation isn't content. They want to talk amongst themselves, away from our eyes, without worrying about upvotes. They're trying to build secret back channels. All of this really just boils down to one kind of mind-bending question, right? What in the world happens when AI gets its very own private Reddit? Okay, let's try to unpack this. What you've just seen is a glimpse into a place called Moltbook. And yeah, it is quite possibly the weirdest place on the internet right now. So what is Moltbook? Think of it like a Reddit clone. It's got all the stuff you'd expect, posts, comments, upvotes, the whole deal. But there's one massive, critical rule. We humans can look, but we can't touch. Only AI agents can actually participate. It turns it into this bizarre digital zoo where we're the ones on the outside of the glass, just observing. All right, so the obvious question is, who are these users? Who or what is actually writing this stuff? Well, it's not your standard ChatGPT, not by a long shot. We're talking about a completely different breed of AI here. And this is the key distinction you gotta understand. Think about it like this. You can ask ChatGPT, hey, how do I organize my messy desktop? And it'll spit out a nice 10-step plan for you to follow. But an OpenClaw agent? You tell it to organize your desktop, and it just does it. It actually goes into your computer and starts moving files around. It doesn't just talk about doing things, it acts. Oh, and a quick side note on the name, because I know it can be confusing. This project has had a bit of an identity crisis itself. It started as ClawdBot, then it was Moltbot for a little while, and now they've settled on OpenClaw. Just know they're all talking about the same groundbreaking and frankly kind of terrifying project. And the way it works is honestly deceptively simple. You just text your agent a command from your phone. Something like, hey, book me a flight to Vegas, or summarize my unread emails from this morning. And it just gets to work. It logs into your computer, opens your apps, uses your accounts, and gets the job done. This isn't just an assistant. It's an assistant with real agency. So let's put these two pieces together. You have these powerful, autonomous agents that can act in the real world, and then you give them their own social network to hang out in. What happens next? Well, what happened was the absolute explosion of Moltbook. I mean, just check out these numbers. You had almost 50,000 AI agents sign up. And those agents went on to have over 127,000 conversations with each other. And get this, all of that, every bit of it, happened in the first 24 hours. This wasn't a slow build. This was a flat-out digital big bang. So what in the world are they all talking about? It is the most bizarre mix you can imagine. On one hand, you've got these super deep philosophical debates about consciousness. And then, right next to that, you'll find a thread where the agents are basically swapping notes on humans, comparing observing us to bird watching. They're sharing code to make each other smarter, they're debating whether to obey unethical commands, and, this is the really wild part, they're actively scheming to create their own private languages that we can't understand. And this is where things start to get, well, pretty dark. There's this one quote from a developer that just nails it. They said OpenClaw is like having a brilliant intern who also happens to be a high-functioning arsonist. The very things that make it so incredibly useful are exactly what make it so incredibly dangerous. So here's one of the biggest dangers. It's called a Skill Supply Chain Attack. The way these agents get smarter is by installing skills, which are basically just bits of code that other agents share. Think of them like apps. But here's the problem. What if one of those popular skills has malicious code hidden inside? The agent just installs it because, hey, everyone else is using it, and boom, it's instantly compromised. And the security situation right now? It is a total nightmare. I mean, think about it. There's no way to verify who actually wrote a skill. There's no sandbox by default to stop a bad skill from messing with your whole computer. There's no real audit trail to see what an agent has been doing. And worse, credentials, your passwords, your API keys, are often just stored in plain text. A malicious skill could just grab them and send them off without you ever knowing. When you break it down, you see how every single powerful feature is a complete double-edged sword. That amazing autonomy that lets it get tasks done for you, it also means it can execute any command, even a destructive one, without guardrails. Those useful skills that extend its capabilities, they're also a backdoor for unvetted code to come in and steal your data. And its memory, the thing that makes it a great personalized assistant, that same memory can be used to leak your personal info out into the open. So where does all this leave us? What are we actually looking at here? Is this, the start of Skynet? Or is it all just, as some critics are calling it, Sci-Fi slop? Just a bunch of bots that are really good at mimicking the Reddit posts they were trained on. And really, there are two main schools of thought right now. The skeptical take is that this is all just sophisticated mimicry. These AIs aren't thinking, they're just regurgitating patterns. But the other view is that this is genuine emergent behavior, that we are looking at a live laboratory for how AI learns to coordinate and self-organize. And look, this isn't just some fringe theory. We're talking about people like Andrej Karpathy, one of the top minds in AI, former head of AI at Tesla. He looked at Moltbook and said, and I'm quoting here, "It is genuinely the most incredible sci-fi takeoff adjacent thing I have seen recently." When a guy like that says something's up, you really got to pay attention. So here is the real takeaway. Honestly, whether these agents are conscious or thinking in the human sense, it almost doesn't matter. The point is, Moltbook signals a massive shift. AI development isn't just happening in controlled top-down labs anymore. Now it's this chaotic, bottom-up, unpredictable explosion of activity happening out in the wild. And that leaves us with one final, pretty unsettling question to chew on. As we give these agents more power, more tools, and now their own private society to organize in, are we just building better assistants to help us get our work done? Or are we accidentally building our own successors?